Thanks for staying with us. Let's take you back to one of our top stories now. The Eastern Cape Liquor Board has shut down Enyobeni Tavern in East London. This, of course, follows the tragic deaths of 21 teenagers at that tavern. There have been questions regarding the way in which the tavern operates and how they maintained their liquor licenses. To elaborate further, Eastern Cape Liquor Board spokesperson Dr. Mgwebi Msiya joins us now to give us more details. Mr. Msiya, thank you very much for your time here on eNCA. Now, of course, this establishment has been shut down indefinitely. It looks a bit reactionary, don't you think, in terms of the Liquor Board and only taking action once 21 young people have died?
Thank you, Masego. Good afternoon to yourself and the viewers. Yes, indeed. We had to take an action as the Eastern Cape Liquor Board against the liquor trader through our legislation, which empowers us to suspend, a liquor license in cases like these ones. So we took a decision and we served, the liquor trader today, and she will no longer be trading until such time that we come back to her when we will have finalized our own investigations.
Mm. And when it comes to your inspectors, for instance, is there no process where there are inspectors within the liquor board who probably go to these different establishments, even if it's under a guise of being a customer, etc., just to ensure that, the agreement to which the person who has that tavern got the license on is actually following the rules in the license?
Yes, we do have liquor inspectors. We have a department called Inspectorate within the Eastern Cape Liquor Board that takes responsibility to enforce compliance amongst liquor traders. So there are liquor inspectors that from time to time will visit these liquor outlets to conduct inspection, monitor, compliance and all that. But I think the biggest challenge that we have as Eastern Cape Liquor Board is that the number of liquor inspectors that we have at the moment is quite very, very small. We have only about 16 liquor inspectors that have to look after more than 7,500 liquor outlets. So it's unlikely that they can reach, all the liquor outlets within a short space of time. So I think that is the biggest challenge. But we're trying our level best. I must emphasize that we're trying our level best as the Eastern Cape Liquor Board to conduct, to monitor compliance, amongst the liquor traders. We work with other stakeholders such as SAPS, and the municipality. So we were really trying. It's unfortunate that we had this incident, which in our view really was not supposed to have happened. So we are very, very devastated as the Eastern Cape Liquor Board, and we shall make every effort to ensure that this doesn't repeat itself, elsewhere again.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, when you give licenses to people who apply for these licenses, do you have people who actually go to that particular place or establishment to look at things? I mean, for instance, with Enyobeni Tavern, we found out from parents and through our journalists that there is only one door to enter and to exit. That already is a safety hazard.
Yes, indeed. Our liquor inspectors will always visit a liquor outlet before we issue a liquor license. It is a responsibility that we always prioritize, that whenever, before we issue a liquor license, we ought to have, inspected that establishment to ensure that it meets all the requirements as per the specifications of a liquor outlet.
So how did Enyobeni slip?
Essentially, look, we have not been able to get access to that establishment, Masego. Unfortunately, we cannot speak about the entrances at this point in time because when we got there, the police had actually cordoned off the crime scene. So we cannot at the moment really talk about whether there was one or two entrances. However, as soon as the police have removed their cordoning, we'll definitely go back and look into that.
No, Doc, I think you're not understanding what I'm saying. I asked you earlier if you have a group of investigators or inspectors that usually go to a certain establishment when somebody comes to your organization and asks for a license to sell liquor. Do you not have a team of people going to that place where that person plans to sell alcohol to make sure that, you know, it's going to be safe? You said you do. So I'm asking you, how does Enyobeni then... How did they slip through that investigation when the parents are telling us that there's only one door coming in and out?
Like I'm saying, is we have not had an access now, you know, after this this tragedy.
Okay, so let me get this clear.
So that we are able to.
So let me just clarify this, because I think that's where we're getting confused. So you don't usually. So prior to you giving me a license, if I, Masego Rahlaga, wants to ask you for a license to sell liquor, do you not, before signing it off and putting your stamp on it, do you not come to the venue that I plan to sell at to inspect that venue first?
That's exactly what we do. Precisely, that is what we do.
So you didn't have access to Enyobeni prior to giving them this license to sell liquor?
We did have an access to the liquor outlet, as I indicated. However, what we're saying is, now that we are having this incident, what we wanted to confirm, as per the reports, is to have an access to the liquor outlet so that we can establish. But in terms of the liquor license in our records, it does show that outlet was licensed with two entrances. So we want to check what could have happened. Why do we now have one entrance? But in terms of what we approved at the Eastern Cape Liquor Board, there were two entrances to that liquor outlet. Hence, I'm saying we have taken a view that it's important for us to go back once the SAPS have actually removed the according off there, so that we can look at what exactly could have happened, because what we approved as the Eastern Cape Liquor Board was an establishment that had two entrances.
Okay, just very quickly, sir, what other action do you want to see being taken against the owner? We know that you've shut down the establishment. Any criminal charges? I mean, he sold alcohol to underage people. That's already a criminal charge. He still remains open after the 2 a.m. stipulated law to actually stop selling alcohol, etc. What other action do you feel should be taken against him?
Look, from the point of view of the Eastern Cape Liquor Board, we are very, very clear, and we have been very, forthright about this, that now that we have suspended their liquor license, the next thing is that once the SAP has, once they have concluded their investigation, what we will do is to lay criminal charges against the owner of that liquor outlet, particularly as it pertains to them selling to the underage people. We hear that there are young people, of about 13 years old. So that's a serious criminal record in our view. So we will definitely lay a charge, amongst other things, that we will do against that liquor trader. But we'll continue to investigate. And should we really find out that indeed so many things have gone wrong, and non-compliance and all that, what will happen is that the license will eventually be revoked.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time, Doc, here on eNCA. That was Dr. Mgwebi Msiya. He's the Eastern Cape Liquor Board spokesperson.